Thank you, Madam President. So Senator Limmer, based on that, and say that we passed this constitutional amendment, I have been married for 23 years, so to a man, and I would like to know then what's in it for me? What does it do to my marriage, this constitutional amendment and this protection in the court and all of these things that you're trying to do to clarify this, to define this in the Constitution? Now you're defining my marriage in the Constitution. You're doing something for me to protect me. And could you define what that is for me as a person who is married to a man and has been married for 23 years? So now what? What is this protection that we are trying to put in place so that the court has it clear? Now everybody's clear, the public is clear, the court is clear, we're clear. So why do I need that? Why? Please explain to me, as a woman who's been married to one man for 23 years and has 2 children and is entitled to a lot of things as a result of it. So this constitutional amendment passes, and the courts are very clear about the fact that I'm married to a man. So what is the result of that? What is happening to me and the millions of people who are married now as a result of the work that you're doing here?
Senator Limmer.
Madam President and Senator Torres-Ray, in the event that this bill would pass, I don't believe this would do anything to promote or enhance your marriage, Senator Torres-Ray. It'll do nothing to help you with your marriage, but it will do nothing to harm your marriage. Matter of fact, if passed, nothing in law would change. The Minnesota state statute, the DOMA law, Defense of Marriage Act that is referred to, defines marriage as one man and one woman in the state of Minnesota. And what the bill does not prohibit, some future legislature to, in their time, to create a domestic partnership or even a same-sex marriage that we saw proposed last year by one of our members. That bill would have erased all gender terms out of our state statute book. It would have erased the word marriage out of our state statute book. The terms husband and wife would be erased out of our state statute book. The term husband and wife would be erased. That's what some of the ideas are coming forward on to redefine marriage. And some people might think that's an agenda item. Other people might just think it's just a simple discussion, and it's a philosophically grounded in some concept of legal parlance. But nevertheless, this bill will not create the major changes that we see in Minnesota as we see Minnesota today.
Madam President, if I may.
Senator Torres-Ray.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Senator Limmer. Actually, I believe that you're incorrect, Senator Limmer, because what this constitutional amendment will do is that it will reinforce my rights. And actually, I don't need that. I just wanted to let you know that I don't need that. Thank you, but no thank you. Because by doing this, what you're doing is you're going to hurt some of my friends, some of my dear friends and neighbors who actually do want to get married. Women that I have known now for 18 years who live across the street from my house, actually members, we moved to the neighborhood around the same time with my friends, and we decided to buy homes in the same neighborhood, and we decided to have children. And soon I learned about the differences between their situation and my situation. I learned that it was not going to be so easy as it was for Jack and I to simply go and sign a contract and say, no, we're married, so we own this house, and when he dies, I am the owner. And he will say, when she dies, I am the owner, and we will pass this on to our children. Well, my lesbian friends cannot say that. They were not able to do that. And also, Senator Limmer, the right to inherit property for their children, they have to define that. They have to pay for contracts and lawyers. And like Senator Dibble just explained right now, there are so many issues that these couples have to do and spend money in order to clarify to all of us what their rights are. And the reason they have to do this is because they are two women, they are two men. So this constitutional amendment, members, actually is very problematic for these couples, for these families, for their children, for their future, for their economic future. I can go on. There are about 1,000 restrictions. There are 1,000 defined benefits and rights, federal and state rights, that we are entitled to because we are heterosexual couples. I promised my friends, members, and my neighbors that I was going to come here to work with you to try to figure out how do we change that? How do we protect their kids? How do we help their families have the same rights? Whether that would be through a civil union. I came here to try to resolve some of these problems. And today, members, you are asking me to vote to actually reinforce my rights at a very, very high cost. That is denying them their rights. And I am opposed to that. I cannot support that. And I very much hope that you go out and really try to ask friends, to ask same-sex couples about their situations so that you learn. I didn't know this about 20 years ago. I had no idea. I had no idea. But now I do. And because I know the reality, I cannot come here and pretend that this is not about ideology, pretend that this is not a problem for them. So members, no, this is not a simple thing. This is not a simple matter. We are creating a problem for millions of people, for thousands of couples who want to get married, to protect their children, to have their homes, to pass these homes on to their children, to make decisions for their children. That's what we are going to be denying all of these individuals with this amendment. Members, please don't do this. Please vote no.